was a kid, my mother was a folk singer, and we lived, on the East Coast, and so, she used to do a lot of shows and travel around a lot and play at different festivals and in different bars and clubs and things like that. And so I just kind of was very inspired to play the drums after I saw, some of her friends playing the drums. And so in the beginning, that's how I was introduced to music, because I came from a musical family and my mother was a musician, and we traveled around a lot. And so I guess that kind of made it easier for me to be a traveling musician now. That's kind of how I got into it. This is what I tell people, when they ask me, how did you get in the business and how did you become, not famous, but how did you become successful, And I just did everything that was offered to me. It didn't matter whether I got paid for it, didn't matter whether the money was that great, didn't even matter whether the music was really what I was into. I just did it all. And eventually the phone started ringing, and then I got too busy to do everything. And then the money started coming in like, well, we will offer you this if you can clear your schedule or whatever, you know what I mean? But great way to get your name around is to not differentiate. There's a lot of guys out there that are like simple groove drummers that don't really play a lot of fills, and they get hired because they can keep time and because they're a good hang, and there's something to be said about that. Well, the Foreigner thing was interesting because I was actually out on the road with this blues artist named Sardinas. So we were in Europe when I got the call for Foreigner, and they were auditioning right in the time that I was going to be over in Europe. And so I basically just told them, hey man, I'd really love to audition, but I can't do it. I can't figure out a way to get back to do it. And they said, don't sweat it. We're going to get a sub, we're going to get Brian Tishy to come back, and we're going to get a sub, and he'll play for the rest of this month. And we'll continue looking at guys, and when you get back, you do it then. And so that's what happened. I came back, and the moment I got back into town, I came out and I flew out and auditioned for the band. And I don't think it was really playing per se that got me the gig. I think that could have gone either way. I think it was more just, we just personally got each other. And so it's been almost 2 years now that I've been doing this gig, and I gotta say, it's just, out of all of them I've ever done, this one sort of personifies pretty much the best gig I've ever had.
Come on, Boston, are you ready to rock? It's time! It's urgent!
Oh yeah, I got another That Thing You Do story. This is kind of funny. So we had got done with recording That Thing You Do, and I got a call, and it was like, hey, you got to come in and record some more stuff. I was like, okay, well, where should I show up? He goes, the Capitol Records building. We're going to do it in Capitol Studios, and Howard Shore is going to conduct. And I was like, so you want me to set up my drum kit and play with the orchestra? And he was like, yeah, that's what we want. So the whole band was there. It was me and Larry Antonino and the guitar player, I think it was Neil Citron. we all set up for this thing, and there was the orchestra was all behind us, and they basically set me up like right in the middle of the orchestra, like right in front, right there, you know. So I'm like right in front of Howard, you know, and then everybody else is behind me, and I'm just like in the hot seat, so in the hot seat, you know what I mean? So we're playing this part of the song, and I've got the piece of sheet music in front of me, you know, and so we start playing the song, and I'm reading the sheet music, and I'm playing it, you know, and doing my thing. Howard, he's got his thing. He's conducting, and he goes, okay. Listen, what's your name? I was like, I'm Chris. Chris Frazier. He goes, yes, Chris. Listen, can you play a little quieter? I was like, of course, Howard, I can play quieter. So I pulled out the little tiny sticks, you know, I got like you know, 7 A's or something. So now I'm playing really, really quiet. Yes. Chris, is it? And I was like, yes. Listen, you're still a little loud. Can you play a little quieter? How about some brushes? Can you play with brushes? And I was like, absolutely. So pulled the brushes out, you know. So I'm playing the song. Listen, Chris, can you play a little quieter with the brushes? I was like, sure. So I'm right in the middle. Beautiful orchestra playing around me. I've got brushes on, and I am literally just acting like I'm playing now. Like I'm just touching the cymbals and touching the snare and doing my thing. End of the take, he goes, that was perfect. And I got paid more for that session than probably any other session that I've ever played on.
What does that tell you?
Now, what does that tell you?
So he started rocking. Ain't never gonna stop. Gotta keep on rocking. Someday gonna make it to the top. And be a jukebox hero. Stars in his eyes. Be the jukebox hero. Just one guitar. Stars in his eyes. Jukebox heroes. He'll come alive tonight.
I was playing with Eddie Money, and we were talking, and he goes, you know, you really should do Vic Firth. And this is Eddie Money telling me that I should play with Vic Firth. Well, come to find out, the reason why he wanted me to play Vic Firth is because Johnny Snyder, the guy that I replaced, played Vic Firth. And Vic Firth had the stencil for the Eddie Money logo already. And he wanted the stencil for the Eddie Money logo on my drumsticks. And so he actually talked me into switching. So I switched, and they put my signature on, and they put the Eddie Money logo on, and I just fell in love with the sticks, and I haven't switched since. I mean, I used them all through Eddie Money, and I used them all through Whitesnake, and I've used them all through Foreigner, and I've been using the Vic Firth Metal sticks. I mean, I even use the Vic Firth Metal sticks when I play with Eddie Money because it's kind of a hard-hitting gig. But I've been using those sticks for nearly a decade now, you know, and there's no other stick for me.